Hello everyone and welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name's Amanda and in today's video we are going to be doing a cat's eye with chrome design, and then I'm also going to be doing a demo on how I've used the peel off base underneath my press on nail tips. So I'm going to be showing you guys how we remove them and how easy it is to remove them. So on my own nails off camera, I've prepped and applied a layer of the Kiki London peel off base coat, and then I've gone in and applied my press on nail tips as normal and just give the surface of them a buff so that our gel polish sticks nicely to them. Speaking of gel polish, we are going to be using the gorgeous champagne silk from the Cat's Eye collection, and I've always got my stripe liner brush to hand when it comes to application. So we're going to go in and apply our first coat of this to all of the nails. I like to keep my first coat nice and thin. On your second coat is where your color and opacity is going to really come through and pop. But let's jump back to talking about the peel off base coat. So there is a launch video up on the channel of the peel off base coat when it first launched. However, I have been trialing this for a good couple of months before it launched, and one of the things that I absolutely loved about it was how well it works underneath press on nails. As someone who does videos and creates content, I change up my nails a lot. So in previous videos, when you would see my nails where I've got press-ons on and I'm doing a design on them, after I finished that video I would have to cut them down, file off the bulk, soak them in acetone to remove, which takes a good while. So with the peel off base coat underneath, as soon as I was sent it to try, the first thing I wanted to try after trying it underneath the gel polish was how well it worked underneath other products. So I went straight in and I tried it underneath press on nail tips, because I like to work on top of press on nail tips when I'm doing designs, because I keep my natural nails quite short, and it worked so well under the press on nails. They just ping and peel off so easy without leaving any damage to the natural nails. So as someone who is a content creator, it is a must-have product, but it's also really great if you like to do your nails for maybe events, or maybe you just like to change up your designs regular, then it is great for underneath those. Maybe you've got a client who can't wear nails for work, however they've got a wedding or an event to go to on the weekends, they just want their nails on for a couple of days. It is great for those kind of circumstances as well. So you do get up to 7 days wear out of it, so you don't have to go in and remove the nail straight away if you don't want to. So again, that's where it's great for both content creators and people who just want short-term wear of their gel polish. One or two of even the ambassadors who also work for Kiki London have said they have actually got longer than 7 day wear out of it as well, but we do kind of have 7 days as the guideline. So yeah, I have tested it under quite a few different products. I've even tested it under acrylic and they peeled off quite well as well. But let's jump back into the design, and then right at the end of the video I'll show you guys removing these. So I've done my first coat of champagne silk, pop that in to cure for 30 seconds, and then we're coming in and doing our second coat of champagne silk. Now this is a really beautiful pinky nude color. I think this is, out of all of the Cat's Eye colors, this one's kind of like the most natural. So if you don't want something that stands out too much, then I would reach for this one. It's got a really pretty rosy tone to it. It's got that champagne vibe coming through from it, and it has a really pretty pearlescent effect to it. So when I was using the Auburn Blaze color recently, it kind of made me feel as though I wanted to see how one of these colors would look like with chrome under the top. Now I absolutely love the Kiki London Pearl Chrome, and I thought these two would pair really beautiful together if you kind of just wanted to add an extra layer of fun to the Cat's Eye design. So we've come in and we've done our second coat of cat eye. Now what I'm going to do is, whilst this layer of gel polish is still wet, I'm going to take the magnet and I'm going to create the Cat's Eye magnetic effect. Now I wanted the same effect on all of the nails, and I kind of just wanted to cut out one section of the nail. So as you can see, it pushes all of those particles kind of like to the center, creates that swoosh down the nail, and then when you rock your hand back and forwards I really love how the effect catches the light and the kind of pearlescent effect moves up and down, if that makes sense. So I repeated this on all 5 of the nails. I did do my thumbnail off camera. I always like to do my thumbs separately because I find they just cure easier. Of course, the Kiki London lamp is designed that you can cure all 5 nails at the same time. But when I'm doing things like filming, I find it a lot easier to do my thumbs separately so I don't knock them and things like that, because I can be quite clumsy. So anyway, this is what the champagne silk looks like if you're just using it in 2 coats with that regular cat eye effect. But then we're going to take the Kiki London Pearl Chrome. Now this is one of my favorite chrome powders out of all of the Kiki London range. I just think it adds such a beautiful effect to any color I've tried it over the top of. I have tried this over so many different shades, from darks to lights. There was one time on the channel I tested it over 5 different browns and it created these really cute shades. So I absolutely love this product. So I was really excited to see what it would look like over cat's eye. Now before you apply your Pearl Chrome, it does need to be applied over a cured no wipe top coat. So you can use any of the Kiki London top coats that are no wipe, except for the matte and the one that obviously does leave a tacky layer. So you need a shiny no wipe top coat. So for example, if you're working with Kiki London, you could use the rubber top coat, which is what I'm using here. You could use the regular no wipe top coat, you could use the Hema free no wipe top coat, or the crystal top coat, because they all cure tack free, and that's what you want to burnish your chrome into, that cured tack free layer. So I've opted for the rubber top coat today for 2 reasons. One, a lot of the time when I'm wearing press-on nails, I do usually end up having them on for a couple of days, and I like that feel of added strength to them. I feel as though it makes them feel more like a full set of gel extensions. And 2, because when you are working with chrome, it picks up every single little tiny imperfection. So I like to go in with the rubber top coat, as this self-levels super smooth, so you shouldn't have any imperfections. It's kind of like a little tip if you are a beginner, and maybe if you apply any of your products a little bit uneven, the rubber top coat will smooth that out. So I've gone in and applied a thin layer of this to all of the nails, and then we're going to pop this in to cure for 60 seconds. Depending on the top coat you're using, they do have different cure times, but the cure times are always listed on the bottle, sorry. And then we're going to go in and apply our Pearl Chrome. So I'm doing this when the nails come fresh out the lamp. So I'm taking my Kiki London silicone tool, tapping it into my Pearl Chrome, tapping off some of the excess, and then I'm going to go straight in and start burnishing this over that cured top coat. I like to start off with a circular motion, going around that cuticle area and over that apex area, and then I'll kind of switch up between the circular motion and an up and down motion and just burnish this all over the entire nail. You want to make sure the entire nail is covered. I like to come in and go around my free edges as well. So you do need to make sure that you're capping your free edges when you are doing your layer of top coat before this, because the chrome is only going to cling to wherever you've applied your top coat. So you want to make sure that you're getting a nice full coverage layer of top coat. It's nice and even. You're not missing any areas around the cuticle area or the tips of the nail. And then as you can see, it's just applying absolutely effortlessly. Now at this moment, there is a fair bit of excess chrome on the nails. We will dust this off, because at this point it kind of looks like you've completely covered up a lot of that cat's eye effect. But don't stress, once we've burnished this into all of the nails, give it a good rub, we'll go in and dust off the excess. So this is how it's looking at the moment. You can still slightly see the cat's eye effect underneath, but once we brush away the excess chrome, you can see it a little bit better. Now to do this, I highly recommend using the Kiki London dust brush. You need to do this step with a soft brush, because the chrome isn't sealed in at this point. So if you go in with a harsh brush, it's going to start scratching it and pulling it off. So you go in with a nice soft brush, and the Kiki London dust brush is absolutely perfect for this. I just go over a few times, and as you can see, it's removed a lot of that excess chrome. It's left that beautiful pearlescent finish, but what I did love is how you could still see that cat's eye effect underneath. We're then going to go in and top coat. I'm going to top coat using the crystal top coat, but again, at this step, you can go in with whichever top coat of your choice for a completely different look, you could even go in with the matte top coat. Now, one thing is when you are brushing off your excess your excess chrome, you may notice that there's still quite a bit stuck around the cuticle area. I like to leave this and clean it off with some alcohol or acetone after I've top coated. Now this is because if you go in before top coating with your nail art brush and your acetone, start removing the chrome that's around those cuticle areas, you do stand the chance of removing some of the chrome that is on the nail, and then you're going to get this patchy finish around the cuticle line, which looks quite messy and it's quite hard to fix up, if that makes sense, because once you've gone in and wiped over the nail with, or the cuticle area with acetone, it's going to also affect that layer of top coat that you've put down. So if you then went to go back in and try to patch up with your chrome, it just wouldn't stick as nicely. So I like to just dust off the excess, go in and top coat, and then now that I've top coated, everything's sealed in, I can go in with my acetone and a round nail art brush and just clean up around that cuticle area. This is going to remove all of that excess chrome that was stuck in those stubborn cuticle areas without worrying about disturbing the chrome that you've applied, because it's sealed in with the top coat. So I did this on all of the nails. You'll see here on the thumbnail it was quite messy. I go in and really brush it at it, and it's not going to obviously remove the chrome because the top coat is acetone resistant. So that now they look a lot more prettier because they are cleaned up, and you can really see now that cat's eye effect underneath the pearlescent chrome, and I really love this combination. I'm definitely going to have to try the pearl chrome over a couple of different shades of the cat's eye range and see which one looks the best, but I do think this color suits the pearl chrome finish the best, just because it's quite a light pink shade anyway. Of course, we're going to finish off with some of the Kiki London cuticle oil to refresh and replenish those cuticles, and this really nourishes the skin as well. So I absolutely love this cuticle oil. Now we're a little while later. I have gone off camera, I took my pictures for this set, things like that, did a few other little bits and bobs, and now we're coming back to removing. So before removing, I did apply a tiny bit of cuticle oil and rubbed that in, and then I'm just going to take one of the one of the K&S tools which are available at Kiki London, and I'm just going to get this underneath very gently at the cuticle area. This kind of breaks the seal, and then once you break that seal, it pings off or peels off nice and easily. It is a little bit harder to remove the press-on nail tips as what it is a regular layer of gel polish. However, it's still very, very easy, if that makes sense. On this particular one, my tip removed from the base coat, so I'll show you a bit better here. But as you can see, I'm just pushing back the cuticle and then finding a little kind of like area where I can just very gently get that angular end of the cuticle tool underneath, and then it just peels off easily. Sometimes you might find that you've got a little bit of base coat still stuck on, but this is going to peel off easily, and as you can see, there's no damage left to the natural nails. It's all come off nice and effortlessly. So I'm just going to repeat this step on all of the nails. You can do this with an orange wood stick if you don't have a metal cuticle pusher. If you don't have any cuticle pusher to hand, I would recommend soaking your nails in warm water for around 5-10 minutes. Kind of just let the warm water soak in, and then you're able to go in and peel them off using your fingers. But I do find it a lot easier to use some kind of tool, whether it be a cuticle tool or an orange wood stick. This one was being a little bit stubborn. It was kind of tricky to find a little area to get underneath, as I'd applied the gel tips quite close to my cuticles. But as you can see, it did eventually come off, and again, it's left no damage. So I then just go in around the natural nail and just scraping off any excess peel off base that is still stuck to the nails. At this point, usually I would go in, push back all my cuticles, kind of do a little bit of a mini manicure so that my nails are kept nice, ready for whenever I do another video. But I'm just going in now, just making sure all of that peel off base coat has been removed, and then I always like to come in after and finish off with some more cuticle oil just to make sure everything's kept nice and soft and nourished, as I don't use cuticle oil as regular as I should. Then my skin has been feeling quite dry, so I went in with some of the Woody Rose K&S hand lotion. I love how soft this skin Sorry, I love how soft this lotion leaves your skin instantly. Anyway, guys, that takes us to the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what videos you would like to see in the future. If you're not already subscribed to the Kiki London channel, please do consider hitting that subscription button. And I shall see you all again next Friday. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.